Lattice multiplication practice, 2-digit by 2-digit. You might have figured out 38 times 25 in the traditional method where you got 950 as your answer, and you might want to look for a way to check your answer. One of the ways you can check your answer is to use another approach, for instance, the lattice multiplication approach. So we'll set up that lattice right here, that lattice grid, 38 times 25. And after we set up that lattice grid, we can go ahead and use that to go ahead and multiply these numbers together. And then so we've got 8 times 2 equaling 16. Actually, let me draw the diagonals first before I start multiplying these things together. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with that 8 times 2 again, which equals 16. I'll write a 1 there and a 6 there. 8 times 5, which is 40. So I'll write a 4 and a 0 to represent 40. 3 times 2, which is 6, and for 6, a single-digit number, we have to write a 0 first, and then a 6. 3 times 5, which is 15, a 1, and then a 5. And then all we need to do is to add along the diagonals. And then so we have 0 here, 6, 4, and 5 here, 1, 6, and 1 here, and I'll actually add those together. So in that first column, that is a 0 there. Next column, that's 6 plus 4, which is 10, plus 5, which is 15. So that is a 5, and we'll regroup the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 6 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And so my answer is 950. 38 times 25 equals 950, which is the same as this approach right here. Both approaches give us the same answer. Here I have the problem 47 times 16, and then so we'll set up that lattice. So we have 47 there, and we've got 16 here. And let's work on setting up that lattice. With those diagonals, with those grid lines. And I'm going to choose another color as I'm working out the problem. We'll start with this first problem here of 4 times 1, which is 4. So I'll place a 0 here and a 4 here. 7 times 1, which is 7. So I'll place a 0 and a 7. 7 times 6, which is 42, a 4 and a 2. And finally, 4 times 6, which is 24, a 2 and a 4. Adding those along the diagonals, I'll start in the ones place, which is 2. And then 7 plus 4, which is 11, plus 4, which is 15. So I place a 5, and I regroup the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 4 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. And then this is a 0 here, so I do not need to do anything. That is 752, which is my answer. 47 times 16 equals 752. For this problem, 97 times 84, again, set up the lattice first. The diagonals. And then so we'll start again with 9 times 8, which is 72. So I'll write the 7 and the 2. 7 times 8, which is 56. 5 and a 6. 9 times 4, which is 36, a 3 and a 6. And 7 times 4, which is 28. Adding along those diagonals, in the ones place is an 8. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 6 more is 14. A 4, regroup the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 3 more is 11. A 1, I regroup a 1. And a 1 plus 7, which is 4. So I will have a 1 plus 7 is 8. I'm going to end up having a 4-digit answer. That's what I was trying to say, and in saying it, I accidentally wrote a 4 there. So 1 plus 7 in the thousands place is an 8. And there we go. That's 8,148. Here's another problem, 76 times 63. So I'll write a 7, a 6 there for that first factor, and then a 6 and a 3 there, 63 for that second factor there. And then I'll go ahead and draw my lattice along with those grid lines. And I'll do that multiplication. 7 times 6, which is 42. 6 times 6, which is 36. 7 times 3, which is 21. And 6 times 3, which is 18. After doing that there, I can go ahead and add along the diagonals. Careful not to add the 76 or the 63. So that 1's place is 8. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. 3 plus 2 is 6. Nope, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7. And then that final number there is 4. So my answer is 4,788. One final problem, 85 times 69. So we'll write an 8, a 5 for 85, and for the other factor we write a 6 and a 9. Setting up the rest of my lattice here. Before I start multiplying, along with my diagonals, and I'll switch up colors as I'm multiplying. 8 times 6, which is 48. 5 times 6, which is 30. 8 times 9, which is 72. And 5 times 9, which is 45. In the 1's place, we get a 5. 0 plus 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 plus 8 is 11, plus 7 more is 18. And 8, regroup the 1. And 1 plus 4, which is 5. So that is 5, 8, 6, 5 as our product. That's lattice multiplication, and more practice with it.